Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to Anime King. And today I'm going to be giving you part 3 of What If Naruto Had Lost Abilities and Conqueror's Haki. Remember to get this one to 100 likes as usual. Share this to all of your friends in your social media platform. And also guys, don't forget to go ahead and check out the other channels. Yes, if you're new, I indeed have 4 of them guys. Anime King 2, Anime King 3, and Anime Prince, which I post what if on every single day. Yes, you heard that correctly, every single day for you guys to enjoy. So go ahead and smash that red subscribe button and become a part of the Anime King family. And thank you for all of your help and support, and don't forget to comment down below and tell me if you're new. I'll be planning talking back to all of you, so without further ado, what do you say we jump right into this new episode begin now guys? So the last spot we left off, as Naruto was retelling the story of how his battle went with Kisame and Itachi, Naruto had proceeded to blow Kisame to pieces with the explosion release. Once he did that, Naruto did not hesitate to go on the offensive with Itachi as they battle. However, Naruto summoned his room and quickly replaced Itachi's eyes as he placed them into a jar. Itachi was shocked as Naruto proceeded to end his life right there and then, removing his limbs in the process. As Naruto told him that he would be going after his brother, Itachi begged him not to do so, but Naruto told him that his brother was one of the reasons why he suffered as a child. Back then he was just the lonely orphanage, who they saw as less than dirt, and all of them, all the kids in the academy that were from the clan families, were treated him like garbage, as Naruto intended to make every one of them suffer for their misdeeds. So with that he ended Itachi, leaving him to the pack of wolves. As Haku and Zabuza was sure now, Naruto was one crazy sick bastard. It is good not to get on his wrong side. However, Haku just felt more reassured that Naruto was, well, her boyfriend. So with that, they traveled towards the land of spring. Some time passed as Naruto set up his base of operation there. He also got a receptionist. She was an orphan that used to live on the street as Naruto took her in and taught her the business, and now she was working for him, getting paid and had somewhere to sleep. As she was beyond grateful, but Naruto was only there to help. Granted, Naruto was not someone to mess with, but he was also a kind person helping those that need help. However, the Hidden Stone Oniki wanted help, as Kurosaki wanted to participate in the upcoming shooting exams, but they were being held at Konoha. Oniki wanted someone there to protect her. However, having his ninjas there still won't be a match if Konoha decides to make a move against her. His granddaughter did have a powerful bloodline. However, he came up with a plan, as he couldn't believe he missed it. Naruto. He was just gonna call Naruto and have him on the team, as Naruto got the message not too long after. However, Haku wanted to participate as well, so Naruto made a deal with Oniki to have Haku on the team as well, as Oniki accepted. It didn't take too long for them to make their way towards the location. Arriving there, as Naruto spoke with Oniki, Kurosaki proceeded to enter the room as she saw him. She had the biggest crush on Naruto, but seeing Haku, Kurosaki was not happy in the slightest, as she didn't know who this girl was, and not to mention the close proximity she had with Naruto. She didn't like it one bit. However, Naruto headed off to help a few people in the village that he saw that needed his help. Upon arriving back at the hotel room, Haku was tired of showing him signs that he was not getting, so she decided to make her move rather clear, as she was dressed in a rather skimpy uniform. Well, Naruto could not help himself. Kurosaki arrived not too long after she heard the sounds that were being made. She was furious, but she would not give up. He would be hers, she would find a way. As the day arrived, as their Jonin sensei was gonna be one of Onki's envoys that was gonna watch them, as Naruto promised Onki that Kurosaki will be fine. So with that, they went through Naruto's room that took them a few minutes to get to Konoha. Minato got the alert that the Sergeant of Death was here, as he was gonna find a way to get the boy back under his control. Minato was not a good person in the slightest, the things that he has done, and now he wanted to control Naruto. However, he had no idea just who he was messing with. Arriving at the village, as they went to the hotel, Naruto met up with none other than Sasuke Uchiha, as Naruto had made sure that Sasuke would never, ever had kids, but he makes Sasuke a deal. He'd return what he took from him, as long as he gave him all the finances of the Uchiha clan. As Sasuke was shocked by that, as Naruto was gonna crush what he took from him until Sasuke agreed. As Naruto told him that he could give him it at the end of the exam, but if he decided to go against his deal, well, he was gonna turn him into a woman, a rather ugly woman, and left him in a rather bad part of the world. Well, what Naruto told him after was something that had Sasuke shaking, as Naruto gave him a contract to sign, as they were gonna make a deal for Sasuke getting back his testicles, and Naruto was gonna get all the money of the Uchiha clan. Well, that was the deal and Sasuke agreed to it. So yeah guys, basically let's left off. You guys can switch across the place of yourself, so we'll say we jump right into this brand new episode. Begin now guys. The deal between Naruto and Sasuke went smoothly as Sasuke was sent on his way. As Naruto walked back to the hotel room with a smirk on his face, he did what he said he would do, which was to restore Sasuke's balls the way they were before he took them away from him back in Land of Wave, and he had done that. What he did not mention was that Sasuke seemed to be sterile, and there was no way that he'd be able to sire a child. Sure, Naruto could have fixed it, but with the way Sasuke treated him as a child, the hell that he put him through, it wasn't his concern or his business. The contract had been made between them, and Sasuke had his end of the bargain to fulfill, as Naruto could only laugh. Yes, a bright smile on his face. As Naruto remembered back then, Sasuke awakened his Sharingan after Itachi had decimated the clan, but he wasn't able to reawaken it for some time. However, the target that he tested his newly awakened eyes on was none other than Naruto. Naruto remembered Sasuke testing his Genjutsu on him, as he was not fully aware of the limits of his Sharingan, so he used Naruto as a test practice dummy, because Naruto was the clanless orphan who had no one to protect or defend him, as Naruto remembered the hell that Sasuke made himself just after he had lost his mother, as Naruto wanted to end himself right there and then with a piece of broken glass, but he was snapped out of that trance and he ran away. He went home that day and cried, and he had no one there for him. The hell that Naruto was put through as a child was beyond great. None of them knew that it was him, but he was here to make them all suffer. Sasuke had just signed over all of his clan riches to him, except for the clan houses and the Jutsu scrolls, without even a hesitation, because he wanted his balls back, which Naruto returned. Now, Sasuke had to hold up his end of the bargain or Naruto would retaliate, as a smirk was on his face as he thought about the things that he would do. However, he was not looking where he was going as he bumped into someone. He removed his hat and placed on his chest as he bowed his head. "I apologize," he said. "I was not focused on where I was going." "Oh, it's no problem, young man," the older gentleman said, before he paused. "Wait a minute. Aren't you the one they call Sergeant of Death?" "Why, yes I am," said Naruto as he placed his hat back on. "And you would be..." "Holy shit," said Naruto. Of all people he expected to bump into, this was not one of them. The legendary Jiraiya of the Sannin. "Whoa there, kid," said Jiraiya, as he let off a nervous chuckle. He had dealt with some fanatical fans of his Ichi series, and if this ended up like the other time where he was tied up in that basement, well, he did break free, but that was not gonna happen again. "Sorry about that," said Naruto as he rubbed the back of his head sheepishly. "It's just a surprise to see you of all people here. I'm a fan of your book, and if it's not too much to ask, would you please sign my copy," said Naruto. "Sure thing, kid," said Jiraiya, a smirk on his face. He liked meeting his fans as well, the good ones, not the crazy ones. As he whipped out his pen to sign another Ichi series book, however, what he saw was not what he thought he would see. It wasn't his, well, basically porno books. It was a tale of a gutsy ninja. "This is my favorite book," said Naruto. "My mother would read it to me every night. She even named me Naruto after the main character. She said she did so because she knew I would make a name for myself in the future, and damn, was she right about that." As Jiraiya took the book and started to cry and sob anime tears, this was the first book that he ever wrote, but it never sold well. And because of that, he started to write his Ichi series, which sold far better. To meet someone that appreciated his first book was, well, heartwarming, as he signed it with a smile on his face, as Naruto took it back and thanked him for it. "Thank you so much," said Naruto, as he sent the book away. "And as a proper token of my appreciation, I am offering you a one-time offer of any major surgery of your choosing that I can perform. I would say free, but materials cost money, and I can't get some of them for free," said Naruto. "Well, that's awfully nice of you, kid," said Jiraiya. "But I'm really..." "Wait a second," he said, as he seemed to go into deep thought. "What's on your mind?" said Naruto. "Well, there's one thing I wish to ask about, but I feel kind of embarrassed asking about it," said Jiraiya. "Ah," said Naruto with a chuckle. "I know exactly what is it that you wish for, and there's no need to feel ashamed about it. Many men has come to me to fix that problem," said Naruto, "and I've done so to all who pay me what is owed. Now I charge by how much you want to enhance it, just how much you want it to grow." "Oh, wait," said Jiraiya, as he didn't expect Naruto to actually say that he could fix it. You can make it bigger?" "Why, yes I can," said Naruto as he snapped his finger. The door to his operating room appeared next to him. "There are a few tests to determine the maximum length your body can handle, but the end result are well liked," said Naruto. "How much will this cost me?" said Jiraiya. "Like I said, it depends on the change in length, but you're getting a sleep discount there," said Naruto. "Now follow me, and I can get a few tests done, and get you on your way to pleasing the ladies." Jiraiya couldn't stop crying more anime tears as he quickly made his way inside the door. What neither of them were aware of was that they were being watched by someone from the rooftops. This person was Kushina Uzumaki, because that boy down there piqued her curiosity. Her daughter had told her what happened on the bridging wave, and how that boy had called her his sister. And that made no sense because Naruto was her only child. Kushina had been agreeing with Minato, thinking that he was just trying to mess with Naruto by saying that. But now the boy was here, and her thoughts changed as she saw him walking the streets by himself. She watched him as he went to the grave, as he called the woman there his mother. She watched as he cried, and the more she watched him, the more she saw the similarities between him and Minato. She would have to seek him out and get the answers to these questions that was currently plaguing her mind at the moment. Time skip. Jiraiya groaned as he started to regain consciousness. "Rise and shine, sleeping beauty," said Naruto with a chuckle. The operation was a success. "Already?" said Jiraiya, as his hand went down. "Well, hot damn," he said. "You're truly a miracle worker, just like they say you do." "Well, I do the best I can," said Naruto. "Now, if you'd be so kind to pay me what is owed." As Naruto handed him a slip of paper that had the bill on it. As Jiraiya pulled out his wallet and paid Naruto in full, this operation had worth every cent. Jiraiya's confidence was boosted exponentially. It was already great before, but now, well, it was on a whole different level because of his new size. "I would advise against doing what you're gonna do right now," said Naruto. "Your body needs to get adjusted to the new growth in size. If you were gonna do what you were gonna try to do, too much blood will be flowing down there, and you will pass out because of it." "Wait, so you're saying I can't use it now?" said Jiraiya. "Well, for the next several days," said Naruto as he walked over and picked up 2 small bags full of pills. "And you should also take these." "What are these?" said Jiraiya as he took them. "Pills to help you," said Naruto. "The red one will help stimulate your blood flow until it happens naturally. The blue ones are essential so you don't pop a stiffy until your body adapts." "Why would you give me the blue ones then?" said Jiraiya, as Naruto raised an eyebrow. As he gave Jiraiya a relay. "Look like, are you dumb?" "Right," said Jiraiya. "Dumb question." After all, Jiraiya did do research for his book, and those research tend to, well, "Before you go, I have a question for you," said Naruto. As Jiraiya turned towards him, "What's up?" he said. "Do you know of the cloning technique that I can use?" said Naruto. "Why would you ask me that?" said Jiraiya, a confused look on his face. Naruto sighed. "In my line of work, I am in high demand to heal so many people. The problem with that, I'm only one man, so I have to go out and gather materials. And when I do that, I can't heal people while I gain the necessary materials. I try to use a technique of mine that uses my bloodline to clone. But the drawback is to it, I need the same amount of blood as a human being. I have been able to collect blood to do it, but it's fairly impractical in use. So I ask you, since you've been around, you probably know one or two that I could use. I assure you, it's not for anything nefarious. It's just so I can gather materials and also heal at the same time." "Well," said Jiraiya, he knew of one that would help him greatly, but it was used for those within Konoha, used by the stronger members. However, Naruto wanted for medical use. "Well, I do know of one that can help you," said Jiraiya. "And while I'm capable of teaching it to you, I want your word that you will never use it against the shinobi of this village. You have my word as the Sergeant of Death. I only wish to use it to gather materials while still healing," said Naruto. "I am a neutral party to all shinobi matters, so I only defend against those who attack me, and I do not actively seek out opponents. And I'm a doctor, not a shinobi," said Naruto. "Well then," said Jiraiya as he showed Naruto the hand signs for the Shadow Clone Jutsu. Naruto got it down in a minute. "Thank you," said Naruto as he shook Jiraiya's hand. "With this, I will be able to help so many more people." "You're welcome," said Jiraiya as he watched Naruto summon up a door that led them back to the village. "While we're on this subject, is there any way I can convince you to join the village?" he said. As Naruto laughed, he knew there would be an attempt to get him to settle back down. "1 out of 3, he said. Jiraiya was confused by that. 1 out of 3? "Well," said Naruto, "Jiraiya may be the spy master of Konoha, but what he was gonna say didn't really mean any harm or necessary damage, so he didn't see why not. Allow me to explain a bit. Every time I enter the major villages, or sometime when I enter a minor one, they try no less than 3 times to get me to join up and set up a shop there. But each time I decline their offers, and believe me when I say, they offer me a lot to stay. But why don't you settle down?" said Jiraiya. "It would make life easier for you. Safe in a village than being on the road as a nomad," he said. "Medicine is a universal thing," said Naruto, "and as such, it is not limited to one place. I am a one-of-a-kind doctor that heal all who pay me, and since I'm wandering as a nomad, my client list is very large," said Naruto. "If you don't mind me asking, just how much money do you make?" said Jiraiya. "More than I could possibly spend in one lifetime," said Naruto. This was true. There was a few people that Naruto helped out of the kindness of his heart without asking them to pay, but he did kind of threaten them in the end to not tell anyone as he wanted to keep his rather dangerous, persona. But he did have other clients that pay a lot. However, he did use a part of his money to buy materials and also herbs. His second needs was clothing and fooding. Naruto grew up poor, and he never really needed much, as he doesn't go around buying all fancy things. And there was an account that he left alone, and added money in there every now and then. This one was safe for when he started a family in the future. After all, having a family took money. The last one was the largest that he had under his name, a vast worth of wealth that he used to fund 14 different orphanages all over the elemental countries. As Naruto knew how it felt to have no parents, so he made sure those orphanages got everything they desired, and as well free health care. He had been doing this for the past 3 years. He found very good trustworthy people to run the orphanage. While it was true that the kids may be orphanage, but with Naruto around, they all saw him as a big brother that they never had. "But I've taken more than enough of your time," said Naruto, "and I must prepare myself for tomorrow." "What's happening tomorrow?" said Jiraiya. "Word spread fast in this village, so I will set up a small boat and help those who pay me," said Naruto. "That's pretty much my day tomorrow." "Well," said Jiraiya with a smirk on his face, as he was happy about the enhancement that he done upon himself. As he couldn't wait until his body adapted, he might just try his luck and go for Tsunade like the old times. Who knows, she might just give in once she saw what he was now packing. What a day that would be. "Alright, you have fun with that. Good luck," said Jiraiya. "You too," said Naruto. As the both of them shook hands before, Jiraiya stepped out. As Naruto followed and sent the door away as he stepped toward his hotel, he stopped halfway as the memories of his clones flooded his mind. As Naruto blinked, it seems like his clone memories came back to him. His blood clone did not do that, but eventually made his way to his room. This time, He had one to himself as Kurosaki and Haku shared one. As he was brewing himself a cup of tea, he was unaware that a shinobi had followed him. This shinobi was one of Danzo Root forces, who was a member of the Yamanaka clan. He had his orders, which were absolute. Wait until it was late in the night, and when Naruto was vulnerable, he was to enter his mind and plant the thoughts of settle down in the Hidden Leaf village. As the Root shinobi waited to get his target and complete his order, time skip several hours later, as Naruto took one of his anti-deprivation sleep pills to keep himself awake, as Naruto was developing something that would help him greatly in the future. He had just finished writing down the process when he heard a knock on his door. At first he thought it was Haku, but that was unlikely, since he asked her to stay away while in this village. He had explained that this village, mainly Minato, would use any tactics to force him to stay within. So while here they were simply squad mates, nothing more. As Naruto stepped towards the door and opened to see who it was, the wires in his gloves prepared to end this person if they try anything against him. However, it was not an ambush or anything. In fact, the person standing there was the last person he expected to see. Standing there was the wife of Minato, Kushina Uzumaki. "Hello there," she said. She spoke with a kind voice, trying to ease the tension. "Sorry," said Naruto, as the initial shock disappeared. "But if you're here for medical purposes, you will have to wait until tomorrow. I will have everything prepared by then." No, I didn't come for medical reasons," said Kushina. "Well, now that I got a good look at you, I can see that you're in peak health. But if not that, then why are you here?" he said. "May I come in?" she asked. "Sure," said Naruto, as he closed the door behind her. "Please tell me that this is not a late night booty call, because if it is, I'm flattered, but I'm already taken," said Naruto. Kushina stopped mid-step before she started to laugh at the random response. "No, that's not the reason why I'm here," she said. "And I would also like to state I'm a married woman. You think that changes things? I've gotten a few offers from married women who wanted my services or who wanted me to settle down with their village. And let me guess." Kushina chuckled. She was a mother, but she also understands hormones. She wasn't sure how old he was. However, he was probably the person to get that offer towards him, and you went along with it, and you still did not join, she said. "Well, no on all accounts," said Naruto as he sat down, "since my mind is used for science, not for so much the pleasure of human flesh. Don't get me wrong, I'm not a virgin, but I'm just not someone that would accept sex for payment. But enough about that. Why are you here?" he asked. "Truthfully," she said, "simple curiosity alone." "Curious to what exactly?" "Your parents," Kushina said, as she looked him in the eye. "Who were they?" Naruto's eyes started to give off a bit of a glare vibes. "Why do you wish to know who my parents were?" he asked. "You call my daughter your sister at the Land of Wave Bridge when she and her squad were there for a mission, and I want to know why." "Is that all this is about?" said Naruto, as he laughed. "I only said that to get her off guard," said Naruto, "and it worked." "Why did you need her off guard?" "Well, her squads had nearly killed my friends, so I need them off guard to get them to safety," said Naruto. Kushina knew deep in her gut that there was more that was being told. But still, "Who are your parents?" she said. "I only ever knew my mother. Her name was Mocha," said Naruto. "She had no other family other than me, and she died when I was 5. She meant everything to me, and it nearly broke me when she passed away. So, a simple word of warning, never disrespect her in my presence," said Naruto. "I mean no disrespect, and I'm sorry to hear about that," she said. "But who was your father?" "To be honest, I don't know who he is," said Naruto. "He abandoned us for us to defend for ourselves, and I never met him in my life." "That must have been hard on a young man like yourself," she said. "If it's any consolation, my homeland and vast majority of my clan was killed off during the Second Shinobi War. So, I know how it feels to lose family." "I know that you're trying to be sympathetic," said Naruto with a sigh. "But your clan was well known for their proficiency in seals and their strength. I was the son of an unknown man and a woman that people didn't even know. Her tombstone have nothing but the date of death along with her name. People will remember your family for years, yet no one will remember mine. So please do not compare us because we are nothing alike," said Naruto. "Well, sorry if I hit a sour note," said Kushina. That is when she felt a pressure drop on her shoulders. "You came to my room in the middle of the night and demanded to know who my parents were." Family was a tender subject, Naruto. "For what?" said Naruto. "To mock me?" to do so as many as in my youth, and insult me for being worthless. I worked my ass off to get where I am today, with my infamous reputation. I have no clan name to coast off of, and I made a name for myself. I meant no disrespect, said Kushina, as she was worried that Naruto would attack her. The look in his eyes, the way he was talking. Well, you have, said Naruto as he pointed towards the door. Now, leave me be. And warn your daughter when we fight in these exams. I will hold nothing back. Those were the last words she heard before the door was slammed in her face. Kushina could only just stand there for a moment and wonder about the information told to her. The main thing that him having a vendetta against her daughter, and the fact that he was participating in the exams as well. That was a shocker for her. If that was the case, Naruto had to be prepared to fight off against someone like him if they were to fight in the finals. As she left, Naruto really hoped that worked. He wasn't that pissed off at what she had said. He just wanted her to leave, as he didn't want her to pry more into his history. He knew exactly who his father was, and he would make him pierce severely in the end. As Naruto stepped forward until his mind was invaded. Mindscape. Naruto woke up as there was a hospital in front of him, as he knew exactly where he was. His teacher always told him about organizing one's mind into a familiar setting, and a hospital was the most familiar place he knew about. As Naruto knew why he was in his mind, and he was pissed off because he knew the exact reason. He always feared that someone would mess with his mind, just like how Ino would, years ago when he was in his youth. But unfortunately, he had no means of making sure his mind was immune to Yamanaka's family jutsu, as he remembered that day like it was yesterday, when he was being bullied, as she proceeded to use her family technique on his mind. Throughout the years, Naruto had tried to develop a way to block out any Yamanaka from entering his mind. While he was no master of sealing like the Uzumakis, he got by with what he could do with sealing arts. Naruto had a very powerful will. This he was able to learn during time, so he had the capability of doing something against the intruder. All of his memories were represented as files in the hospital, as they were locked in the cabinets. Naruto saw the hospital lights start to flicker in and out, before they completely burn out. As Naruto turned towards the wall, that is where the intruder was. A lever appeared as Naruto pulled it. As he did, an alarm sounded throughout the facility, and the sprinklers activated. However, these sprinklers were not spraying water, they were spraying blood. The intruder had spent hours trying to locate Naruto's memories, as the time inside and outside was very different. However, he couldn't find them one bit. That is when the alarm went off. This confused Root Agent, as he shouldn't know that he was in here, as he saw blood instead of water come down on him. He got drenched in the thick liquid as he found himself stuck for reasons he couldn't understand. So, a voice said as he looked up to see the individual standing there. Naruto snapped his finger as the lights returned back on. You are the one that invaded my mind. How is this possible? You shouldn't be here, the man said, confused. Well, this is my mind, said Naruto. He had a few encounters with shinobis who wore masks like this before. All he could get out of them was they were a member of the organization known as Root, but nothing else. So, you should have thought of that before you entered my mind. You will serve my master, the Root Agent said. You have no choice in the matter. You know, I would try to get information out of you, said Naruto, as he pulled off the guy Root mask. Like all the others he faced over the years, pale face and devoid of all emotion. Just like the rest of them, he most likely had a seal on him that would kill him rather than giving off any information. Tell whoever your master is I serve no man, and I never will, said Naruto, as the blood that was falling slowly started to gather into a sight. As Naruto gripped the handle, he then sliced his head clean off, as the man's body dissolved and left his mind. Snapping his finger, all the blood disappeared as the place was once again clean, as Naruto vanished from his own mind. The next day, Naruto had woken up early to go and find a good spot to set up his temporary shop. As Naruto placed it dead center in the village, plain view of everyone who came this way, he sat there for about 40 minutes until he got his first customer. As it was quite simple, the customer would talk to him about what they needed medical help for, and then Naruto would give them a paper to fill through. It helped them to give him the idea of the proper problem they were having, as Naruto then signed off on it and placed the price in the box. The first customer had a severed muscle in his arm that he could no longer use it properly, as Naruto showed him the price and he paid, and Naruto fixed it. as the guy left happy, fully functional arms once again. To be honest, the guy was lucky since healing a severed muscle was better than reattaching a severed limb. He could still do something like that, but it would cost more. Once the guy left, many more people showed up. Out of all the people that came to see him, which was a lot, only 3 stood out. The first was Uncle Minarashi, former student of the traitor Orochimaru Sanin. "So, I heard that you're the infamous Sergeant of Death," she said while eating a stick of dango. "That I am," said Naruto. He has heard that at least a dozen times today. "So what can I help you with?" "Well, I need help with a bit of a personal matter," she said, as she rubbed the back of her head. "What STD do you want me to eliminate?" said Naruto, as Uncle looked towards him shocked before she growled. "I don't have a STD," she said. "Well, that's good to know," said Naruto with a smirk. "Do you hear that, boys? She's clean," as he heard some of the guys in the crowd start to laugh. However, that seemed to only piss Uncle off even more. "I'll kill you for that," she said. "Greater people have tried," said Naruto. "But seriously, what can I help you with?" "Fine," Uncle said. "Well, I heard you perform what is known as miracles by many people. And at this point I'm desperate," she said. "Please, tell me what is the problem, and I'll see what I can do," said Naruto. "When I was younger, my old teacher placed one of his cursed seals on my body," she said. "So you want to see if I can remove it," said Naruto. "Well, show me the mark and I'll tell you what I can do." Uncle leaned her head over as she pulled her coat down to show the mark on her neck. As Naruto reached up and placed a finger on it as he examined it, the chakra in his fingertips showed him enough to understand what it was. He then pulled out one of his personal books that he filled with notes. "So, can you do anything about it?" Uncle said. Her voice was much softer. "Actually, I can," said Naruto, as he placed the book down. "Wait, you can actually help me?" she said. "Yep," said Naruto. "In my career as a doctor, I've healed 11 people with different curses on their body. Out of all of them, I only ever lost one. But that was because the curse was far more complex than I thought. Yours is not that hard or that complex, so I can easily remove it. But I'll need 3 things from you." "Anything," she said. "I need about a pint of your blood, a month to prepare, and the money for the payment of the operation." "Whatever the price is, I'll pay it," she said, as she was desperate to get this thing off. "Well, you're really lucky that I'm not an asshole who would abuse someone like you to get the money," said Naruto, as he saw how desperate she was. Flipping through the book, Naruto showed her the exact price that was necessary. She saw that it was a bit steep, but she could afford it. As Naruto had her sit down and poked her with a needle to extract her blood, as he then proceeded to place it in his freezer along with the rest of the blood, as Uncle hugged him, as Naruto was a bit taken aback by that. As she would be returning back in a month, she was beyond happy, a smile on her face as she made her way off. After that, 2 rather arrogant pieces of garbage came to Naruto. Their attitude alone pissed him off already. The woman, "Hello," she said. They did not even try to wait in a line. They pushed past and came to the front. "If you have not noticed," said Naruto, "there is a line." "Do you have any idea who we are?" the man said, with a growl. "No clue," said Naruto. Such arrogance, the woman said, because Naruto wasn't even looking at her. And well, everyone in Fire Country should know who they were. They were a family that was just below the Fire Daimyo. So their family was in the, well, top hierarchy. "Everyone know who we are." "Well, I don't," said Naruto. "We are Zuko and Azula of the Kane noble family." "Wait a minute," said Naruto. "What were your names?" "Azula and Zuko." Anger inside of Naruto threatened to explode out like a raging inferno. Those names clicked in his mind the instant they said them. They were in his mother's journal. And if he was correct, these people were his aunt and uncle. The journal had went into great detail about how the both of them bullied her because she did not see life how they saw it. She wasn't as arrogant as they were. The things that they did and say. As Naruto's fingers started to twitch, every fiber of his being wanted to rip them to pieces, tear them apart, to make them suffer. However, if he did that, he would be a wanted man in bingo books for killing the nobles. If he was going to get back at them for what they had done, he would do so in his own way. Calming himself, Naruto spoke. "Noble or not, there is still a line in front of you," said Naruto. "Fine," Azula said. "How much escaped the weight?" she said. "It's not about the money," said Naruto. "It's about the principle of the matter. You cannot bribe your way here. Do you not understand how nobility work, you worthless commoner?" Azula yelled. as Zuko held her back so she would not do something stupid. She was known to do impulsive things against those who pissed her off. Several maids and butlers in their homes had been the target of such cruelty, so he knew what she was capable of. Naruto turned towards her. "Worthless commoner," he said. "Well, that's rich. Coming from the nobles that came to seek my aid. You think that you're better than the rest of us, but in reality, we all function the same. We all have the same weaknesses, and money cannot change that. So if all you mean to do was insult me, then you can leave. Or else, get your noble bitch ass to the end of the goddamn line and wait like everyone else." At this point, Zuko let Azula go, since Naruto had insulted him as well, and he wanted her to, well, destroy him. She pulled out a dagger to stab him. Her family had the money and influence to get away with it after all. This was not the first time she did this, nor will it be the last, as her blade stabbed right through his palm. She released it and stepped back as Naruto reached and pulled it out, showing no discomfort. "You seem agitated," said Naruto as he pulled a syringe out, as he stabbed it in her arm. Quickly pumping the sedative inside, she quickly fell unconscious. "You filthy," however. Zuko stopped mid-sentence as Naruto pulled out another syringe. "Take your sister and wait, like everyone else," said Naruto. Zuko simply nodded in shock that he was being threatened like this. This had never happened before. As Naruto looked at him as he picked his sister up and went to the back of the line. There was not even a scar in Naruto's palm as the blood had returned to where it was. Within 5 minutes though, Zuko was in front of a line. "What did I just say?" "You say I couldn't bribe you, but I could bribe the rest of these commoners," he said. As Naruto leaned his head and saw a few people counting money in their hands. "Smartass. Alright then, what can I do for you?" he said. "We came to this village to hire Tsunade of the Sanin for her medical knowledge, but we decided to hire you instead since we heard that you were here, and you surpass her in the medical expertise. And yet you just called me a filthy commoner about 5 minutes ago. But you know what, I'm not gonna argue with you. What do you need?" said Naruto. "Our father is gravely ill," as he handed Naruto an insignia of the Kane family, which was a black flame. "He needs a heart transplant if he's going to live." "So I take it that you have the donor heart, ready to be transplanted," said Naruto. "That we do," Zuko said. "The heart that came from one of their butlers, and one of them that their father hired for this exact purpose, because he knew that he would need some fresh organs of sorts. The young man had no other family except for his sick elderly mother, and he was happy to take this job, to send the money that he earned to her to make sure that she was healthy. The man worked there for 2 months before he was killed and his organs were harvested. To make sure that there were no loose ends, their father hired a shady man to kill his mother so no one would be looking for him." "Okay then," said Naruto as he opened a scroll, "an invitation to the fire capital." "I can be there in a week," said Naruto. "We need you sooner than that." "Well, tough shit," said Naruto. "I have things that I plan to do, so that is the earliest I can help you." "Then we should hire Tsunade instead." "Well, go right ahead," said Naruto, "because it will take you longer. From what I've heard, she's not even within the village. She's on some sort of gambling tour, as people call it, and she won't be back for at least a few weeks. Even if you were gonna hire her, all she would do is get a message and most likely ignore it since I heard she doesn't like to be interrupted while she's gambling. So by all means go right ahead and hire her," said Naruto. "Fine," Zuko said. "We expect you as soon as you possibly can." "I'll be there," said Naruto, "and have my money ready, otherwise there will be no operation." Gritting his teeth, Zuko left as his business was done. Nothing else happened as the day went by, until Naruto was finally packing up ready to set off. He expected this person sooner. Minato Namikaze arrived, a grin plastered on his face. "So you're the infamous Sergeant of Death. I have heard so much about in the last couple of years," said Minato. He had Danzo send one of his root shinobis to alter Naruto's mind, so when he offered the chance to him to join the village, Naruto would jump at the opportunity. He had heard nothing from the root shinobi, but since Naruto was not a Yamanaka or was efficient in seals, he should not be able to counter the mind attack. "And you're the infamous Yellow Flash Minato Namikaze," said Naruto. His back was turned to the man, as he was doing inventory to make sure that he have everything, and see what you need to order next. "So what brings you here now? If you're here for medical services, you'll have to wait until tomorrow because I'm closed for the day," said Naruto. "No, I'm not in need of personal aid. I'm here to offer you the chance to join our village. I even have the paperwork with me, so we can get that out of the way right here and now. No, said Naruto. Well, all I need is a signature so we can... Minato paused. As his mind was on autopilot, he heard Naruto say yes. But he got a... No. What? He said. I said no, said Naruto as he kept on packing his stuff up. How is this possible, said Minato, as he said it out loud. How is what possible, said Naruto. Nothing, said Minato, as he didn't understand the root shinobi should have done his work. But is there anything that Konoha can offer you, for you to set up shop within the village? We are considered the strongest out of all of the 5 great nations, he said. Stop preaching to me, said Naruto as he finally turned to face the man, and look him in the eye. Your village has nothing more than the other major villages, and they have all tried to get me to settle down there. But I prefer to remain on my own. But let's just stop all of this, right? And talk man to man. You and me, said Naruto. Minato got serious as he stopped smiling. And just what exactly do you mean by that, he said. As Naruto's eyes turned into a glare. I know exactly who you are, he said. And it humored me greatly to see the same man that would not even acknowledge my existence a few years ago, now in front of me, giving me the chance to join his village. That I have nothing but the worst memories of, said Naruto. Minato frowned, so you know the truth then, he said. He had hoped that Naruto would never learn that part of their relationship. Now he will have to have a Yamanaka to erase that part of his mind once he joined the village. It's hard not to know, said Naruto. I have your hair color and as well as your eyes. I am a doctor and I perfectly understand genetics. So you know the truth, said Minato. Why would you refuse the offer to remain with family? Family, said Naruto. You dare claim to be such a thing to me. You abandoned us when we had nothing. You left us to die without a shred of aid to sustain us. When my mother came to you begging you, on her hands and knees you slapped her and sent her away, threatening not only her life but mine as well if she ever showed her face. You were willing to harm a child to keep your secret, and now the child that you have sired has made a name for himself. You tried to seek him out, while you personally deny every chance that you had a few years ago, said Naruto. Minato simply raised his hand as root shinobis appear all around Naruto. I'm afraid I can't let you leave then, said Minato. 2 out of 3, said Naruto. So this is your grand plan, kidnap me. Listen here, you brat, said Minato. You have one of 2 options here. You can either come quietly to begin your re-education to become a citizen of Konoha, or you can try and fight and try and kill them. But if you do, you will be placed in a bingo book with such a high amount that even your own customers will try to turn you in for the reward. Either way, you will serve this village. Is that what you think, said Naruto, as he pulled out a bottle filled with blood. You have no idea who I'm friends with, said Naruto. And why does that matter, said Minato. In my career as a doctor, I have helped many political people with influence. I have helped several daimyos, 3 of them being from major countries, and I have befriended them all not for personal gain, but because they're nice people and I like to get to know my patients. They know who I am as well since they've gotten to know me on such a personal level. Now if you did what you said you would and placed me in the bingo book, it will only really affect me in Fire Country since the other countries will not allow this. So while you're doing this, you will basically blacklist me from Fire Country. While it will be a financial loss, it's not the end of my career. There will always be sick people wherever I go, so I don't have to come back here, said Naruto. That changes nothing, said Minato as he was a few seconds away from ordering his man to capture Naruto. Naruto grinned, but it does. If you try to capture me like you're doing, I will simply kill all of them and leave this village and not return. However, Naruto knew that he would have to return to help Uncle. He promised that he would cure her cursed seal, and he was a man of his word. And if I do that, I will let the world know exactly why I left. They will know that the boy that was abandoned by his father, who is none other than Great Yellow Flash, is now being hunted by the same man because he has made a name for himself. The world will know who you truly are, and they will not see you as a hero as Konoha, but a monster. The monster that you truly are, said Naruto. Do you really think that you can defeat all of them and walk out of this place, said Minato. It's fun that you say that, said Naruto as he raised his hand. As he twitched his index finger, Minato heard choking as he turned to see the root ninjas grasping their necks as blood was running down. How, said Minato, shocked that they were subdued so easily. How is this possible? You were trained to fight like a shinobi, the same way everyone has been trained, with the exception of samurai, said Naruto as he tightened his grip with a wire. But I was trained to fight like a doctor, who who no one has been trained to counter in their lifetime, said Naruto. That give me the edge to do things like this. So you have two choices here. The first, you leave me alone and take your man with you. The second is I kill your man and disable you, so you still leave me alone. While I hate you with every fiber of my being, I won't kill you. Minato was rather amused that this brat believed that he could kill him so easily. And why the change of heart, he asked in a sarcastic tone. Because I don't want you to die just yet, said Naruto. You took everything away from me, my childhood, my mother, and even tried to ruin my future when you denied me the chance to join the academy, said Naruto. You would have gone after my daughter in rage for what I did to you, said Minato. No, I wouldn't, said Naruto. The reason I would have hurt her was because your daughter is a bitch who also added to my pain in my youth. You should be proud, since she take after you so well. Don't you dare insult my daughter, said Minato. And don't you dare attack your son, you hypocritical narcissist, said Naruto. So you're gonna be a good boy and leave me the hell alone, or should I scar you up? At the point where you can't even hide your shame from the world, said Naruto. Minato growled this was not a part of the plan at all. The Yamanaka shinobi should have done his job, and this should have been a simple acceptance for Naruto to join the village, but yet he was faced with a dilemma. Once a member of the village, he would have used the CRA to begin a highly advanced group of medical ninjas with Naruto abilities. Minato has never seen Naruto blood use ability before, but it was a great thing to have, as that would have helped him. But in the end, he told his man to not pursue. As Naruto retracted the wires, he told him to retreat as they vanish. This is not over, boys, said Minato, because in the end, you will serve this village. I promise you that. You're right, it's not over, because I'll make you suffer, like I've been suffering for years. I'll take everything that you love from you, so that you know my pain, said Naruto. Minato paused. Stay away from my family, he said, or I will show you that certain fates are worse than death. Funny, said Naruto. I was about to say the exact same thing to you. Looks like I am your son, said Naruto. We think so much alike after all. This pissed Minato off worse than before as he flashed away. However, Minato was not done as another Yamanaka tried to invade Naruto's mind once again. If Minato could have Naruto unconscious, it would be rather easy for him to subdue him. However, Naruto was prepared for this. A crow suddenly appeared. A flock of crows. The ninjas could not get in close as they started to surround Naruto and spin. When they vanished, Naruto was also gone as well. A wise man once said, when you made a plan, you should think 3 steps above your enemy. And Naruto had taken that advice to heart when he had left Konoha to seek his destiny in life somewhere else. Making a plan was rather easy when you know a lot about the people that you're making the plan against. The Yamanakas, when they invaded his mind to force him to serve Konoha, he knew that he would try to do it again. It was true that Naruto had no idea when the secondary invasion would try to happen, but he was prepared. For years he had used a blood clone, the second one that he ever made, to study the human mind. He had hundreds of books on the subjects as he tried to study and understand the human mind. While Naruto would never admit to anyone his teacher, not even his own mother or his closest friends or his girlfriend, there was only one thing in his life that Naruto feared, and that was the loss of his memories. There wasn't anyone else out there that could do what he do because of his special abilities. Losing his memories through natural illnesses or alteration like the Yamanaka was capable of doing with their goddamn family jutsu. He feared about it at first because he saw what he could do. When he used to suffer nightmares about it, from Ino until he was 9. But nowadays, he feared that he could never help others once again, because no one else could do what he did with his bloodline, and the powers that he was gifted with when he ate the fruit when he was a young lad. This was why he did so much medical research, so he could teach it to others when its time as a doctor in this world came to an end. Sure, they could not do everything that he could do, because his powers in this world was one of a kind, but they could get really close. There were those that had suffered memory loss, as they voluntarily gave themselves to Naruto to try out his procedure to see if he could cure it. He had so many failures under his belt when he just started, but he got a breakthrough and he found a cure. It was slow because he was basically reconstructing the memories that had eroded over time. Yet while he had made a breakthrough to cure memory loss illnesses, he was still vulnerable to the goddamn Yamanaka's jutsu. He would always remember the nightmares even though he no longer suffered from them. The memories would always linger. His bullies had so enjoyed making his life miserable, all of them ganging up on him, making him suffer. Yet no matter what they put him through, his mother was always there, and she helped him rise above it. And when she died, Naruto was left all alone. Ino Yamanaka. Many people that saw her believed that she was just a young girl fawning over Sasuke Uchiha, but in reality she was one of the cruelest. She and Naruto, two of the cruelest people that he ever met. She had learned her family jutsu and she was dying to try it out on someone. Ino was a part of the Yamanaka family, as her and her friends were better than the others. Seeing Naruto, a boy that didn't have anything, she decided to test her jutsu out on him. She then proceeded to plant false memories into his mind to make him think that his mother also hated him and join on with the ridicule and the mocking of the others. This was a nightmare that plagued him until he was 9 years old. That had put Naruto through a lot. To her, it was just a game. Naruto was a nobody, and she was just testing out her family jutsu. However, Naruto would make her suffer. He would make her pay. And now he had the perfect thing that he needed to be immune to the Yamanaka mind jutsu. Naruto had no idea who ran Root. However, he had fought them long enough to know their name. This was the name of the organization, and Naruto knew that. And now he had one of them. The backlash the Root Ninja received from entering Naruto's mind once again. The first time he was decapitated, this time Naruto caused a chain reaction explosion to stun him. As Naruto was able to leave his mindscape first, he quickly found the individual and he injected him with a syringe, paralyzing him completely. Perfect, Naruto thought. The other night he was able to escape before Naruto came to, but this time Naruto was able to trigger such a backlash on his own mind that the guy was stunned for a few seconds, giving him the proper time. Naruto knew that they would try again, and this was a perfect opportunity that he was waiting for. He thanked the crews for helping him with his plan, as they nodded before they headed back towards their summoning realm. As Naruto was now with the Root Shinobi inside of his own personal domain. As Naruto looked down towards him with a smile. "Yes, I know. You cannot speak," said Naruto. The Root Shinobi could not move. Only thing that he could do was look at Naruto, as he could not respond in the slightest. A grin spread on Naruto's face. "Well then, shall we get to work?" he said, as Naruto looked towards the Yamanaka. But guys, be and subscribe right here. If you want to see next part and do, like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn on that bell notification to stay posted. But I'm off now, see you guys soon. Peace.